He came home early, expecting silence and order. But what he saw in his living room froze him in place. His cleaner, a black woman he thought only swept floors, was kneeling beside his young son, guiding him with gentle hands and careful movements. Confusion gave way to anger, which in turn gave way to disbelief. How could she dare intervene in something so personal, so delicate? What he didn't realize in that instant was that this moment would ignite a chain of events exposing secrets, corruption, and truths he could never have imagined. Could one act of quiet courage change everything? Andrew Carlyle lived in a world most could only dream of. A self-made millionaire, he owned sleek penthouses, luxury cars, and a life meticulously curated for comfort and control. Every morning followed the same rhythm. Breakfast delivered, meetings scheduled, and his young son Ethan cared for by a rotating team of staff. Andrew prided himself on order, discipline, and the appearance of perfection. Yet beneath the polished surface, he demanded obedience, control, and absolute loyalty from those around him. Monica Harris, his cleaner, had been with the family for nearly a year. Quiet, efficient, and seemingly unassuming, she moved through the house like a shadow, earning little more than gratitude and occasional acknowledgement. To Andrew, she was just that, a cleaner. But what he didn't know was that Monica carried a hidden past. Once a respected occupational therapist, she had dedicated her life to helping children like Ethan until her career was destroyed by jealous rivals and systemic injustice. That afternoon, Andrew's day went off schedule. A rare meeting ended early, and he decided to return home sooner than usual. As he parked his car and entered the familiar hallways of his grand house, he expected the ordinary silence, tidiness, and his son safely entertained. Instead, he found a scene that made him stop in his tracks. Monica wasn't just cleaning. She was kneeling beside Ethan, guiding his tiny hands, helping him move in ways Andrew had never seen before. Something about her calm focus and his son's careful motions made his blood boil, and in that moment, a storm was about to erupt, one that neither of them could ignore. Andrew's eyes narrowed as he stood frozen in the doorway, watching Monica guide Ethan through careful stretches and breathing exercises. His initial shock flared into fury. "What are you doing?" he barked, his voice cutting through the quiet of the house. Monica looked up calmly, her expression composed but firm. "He hurt himself, sir. I'm helping him settle," she replied, her tone measured, almost defiant. Andrew couldn't understand. To him, she was a cleaner, a background figure in his meticulously organized world, not a caretaker, not a professional, certainly not someone who should interfere in his son's life. He stepped closer, his anger palpable, insisting she had no right to experiment on Ethan. Monica, sensing the tension, maintained her calm, guiding Ethan through a slow breathing exercise that seemed to soothe him instantly. What Andrew didn't know was that Monica's life had been anything but ordinary. Once a leading occupational therapist, she had devoted over 15 years to children like Ethan, teaching families how to navigate the challenges of autism. 2 years ago, jealous competitors and corrupt doctors had orchestrated a campaign that destroyed her clinic, smeared her reputation, and forced her into cleaning jobs to support her family. Yet, even under the guise of servitude, she quietly retained the knowledge, experience, and contacts that could expose those who had wronged her. As Andrew continued to lecture her in front of the staff, demanding that each employee stick strictly to their assigned roles, a spark ignited within Monica. She endured his humiliation silently, all the while calculating her next move. Hidden cameras in the house, her phone carefully positioned, began recording Andrew's temper, his racially charged remarks, and the way he overlooked Ethan's discomfort. Every moment of abuse, neglect, and arrogance was captured, evidence Andrew had no idea was being collected. Over the next few days, Monica meticulously gathered more than just recordings. She quietly accessed bank documents, emails, and contracts that revealed Andrew's manipulation of the child therapy market, bribery of officials, and fraudulent complaints designed to eliminate competition. At the same time, she built a network of trusted contacts, including Jordan Lee, an investigative journalist known for uncovering corruption and injustice. Together, they mapped a plan to bring the truth to light, timing every move with precision. The tension escalated as Monica continued to interact with Andrew daily, outwardly compliant, yet inwardly relentless. Each dismissive comment, each condescending glance, only reinforced her resolve. Ethan's small victories during therapy, his quiet smiles, and his growing confidence fueled her determination. She had become more than a victim. She was a strategist, gathering proof and preparing for a confrontation that would expose not just Andrew's cruelty, but the systemic injustice that had forced her into hiding. Every interaction was a careful dance. Monica ensured that Andrew's arrogance blinded him to the storm gathering around him, his public persona of wealth and power remaining unchallenged, for now. But the quiet tension in the house was palpable, a ticking clock counting down to a moment that would shatter the carefully maintained illusion of control. As the days passed, Andrew's ignorance of Monica's true expertise became his greatest vulnerability. What he perceived as defiance from a mere cleaner was actually the calm, calculated patience of someone who had already begun orchestrating his downfall. The question looming over the household, and soon over Andrew's empire, was simple yet terrifying. Could one woman, dismissed and underestimated, reveal truths powerful enough to topple a millionaire and change the life of a child forever? The night of the charity gala arrived, a glittering event celebrating Andrew Carlisle as the exemplary father of the year. Guests in elegant gowns and tailored suits clinked glasses, applauding his supposed dedication to family and philanthropy. To the world, Andrew was a paragon of wealth, power, and success. But beneath the lights and applause, a storm was ready to erupt. A storm Andrew could never have anticipated. Monica sat quietly in the front row, her presence calm yet commanding. Every camera, every hidden recording, every piece of evidence she had painstakingly collected was ready to expose the truth. As the gala's documentary began to play on the massive screen, the room fell into silence. First came the images of Ethan, tense and fearful under Andrew's controlling gaze, contrasted with the gentle guidance Monica had once provided. Then came Andrew's private emails, bank statements, and internal communications, revealing bribery, market manipulation, and the systematic sabotage of competent child therapists, all orchestrated to inflate his power and crush rivals like Monica. Gasps echoed through the room. Andrew's carefully curated reputation unraveled in real time, his expressions shifting from disbelief to horror. He tried to intervene, but Monica's meticulous planning had anticipated every reaction. FBI agents, previously unnoticed, moved through the crowd and approached Andrew with quiet authority, their badges glinting in the dim light. He realized too late that every misstep, every act of cruelty, every racist remark had been documented, and now the law was closing in. For the first time, the balance of power had shifted. Monica, once a silent victim of injustice, now commanded the stage, not with anger, but with undeniable truth and authority. The world saw Andrew not as a hero, but as a man undone by arrogance, prejudice, and corruption. And as he was led away, handcuffed and defeated, the question lingered in the stunned silence of the gala. Could one quiet act of courage and competence really dismantle a lifetime of privilege and impunity? In the weeks that followed, Andrew Carlisle's empire crumbled under the weight of undeniable evidence. Monica Harris, once underestimated and silenced, had not only secured justice for herself but for every child and family affected by Andrew's greed, prejudice, and negligence. Her meticulous documentation, combined with Jordan Lee's investigative reporting, had ensured that the truth could no longer be ignored. Andrew faced legal consequences for fraud, bribery, and abuse, his reputation irreparably shattered, a stark reminder that wealth and privilege could not shield him from accountability. Ethan's life, once constrained by fear and neglect, transformed under Monica's care. The child's confidence flourished as he received proper therapy, guided by a professional who truly understood his needs. Every small victory, a steady step, a confident movement, a calm breath, was a triumph not just for him, but for Monica's unwavering dedication and expertise. Families across the country, inspired by her courage and skill, began to seek the care they had long been denied, changing the lives of countless children. Monica's story became more than a personal victory. It became a symbol of perseverance, resilience, and the power of competence over prejudice. Harvard University recognized her unparalleled expertise, offering her a professorship and a fully funded research lab, ensuring her knowledge would influence generations to come. The street outside her new therapy center in downtown New York was renamed Dr. Monica Harris Avenue, a public acknowledgement of her courage and impact. Her journey was a powerful reminder. Injustice, no matter how deeply entrenched, can be challenged through patience, preparation, and moral clarity. The world may try to dismiss, demean, or silence those deemed lesser, but true excellence, integrity, and dedication have a way of prevailing. And as Monica watched children like Ethan thrive, a quiet thought lingered. How many more talented, capable people are overlooked, silenced, or forced into hiding simply because of prejudice? The answer, perhaps, lies in how many of us choose to recognize, support, and celebrate their brilliance before it's nearly too late. What do you think about Monica's courage and determination? Could one person's quiet strength really change an entire world? If her story inspired you, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more real stories of resilience, justice, and triumph over injustice. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what you would do in her place.